France versus Great Britain. Has been frisson and friction between these two geographical neighbours for such a long time, and it always means something. And at the moment, Great Britain get the round of applause from the crowd here, enthusiastic to see them strike goals. And for the time being, they hold a margin of just over a quarter of a second. France, though, look very, very strong, nicely marshalled as they are, as they always are. And the margins now are not being expanded at the same sort of rate. Let's see, it's Ollie on the front right now for Great Britain.
Quicker than what they originally planned, so that is a good thing. But I've just seen France go down to 3 runners, and that is very early, not even halfway through.
Very early indeed. I think it's possibly by design. We saw it a little bit earlier on. Quarter of a second they lead. Now they seem comfortable and balanced. Benjamin Thomas at the back of that trio at the moment. When he rolls through to the front, you'll see almost a change of pace within that group. But Great Britain still sticking to 4, and is it paying dividends for them? Not for the time being. Still 3 against 4. Great Britain holding station just for now. As we pass the 21-25, this is going to be 1,500 metres to go right now. What's the gap? Oh, it's expanded, and France, well, here's that drive I was telling you about. We'll see if they can get one more exchange. But Denis now, let's see what the gap is, 1.205. He's not picked it up just for the time being. Great Britain have responded, but it's a big old gap for them to find, I'm afraid. And in fact, there's a huge gap opening up as well. It's not going to work for them because the bell's already gone. And here it is. France take the gold medal, and Great Britain, in the end, just falling as a unit, I'm afraid, on that very, very last lap. France, supreme.
Well, our first session was 2 days ago together, so to come together like that off no training and pull together some decent rides and a silver medal is pretty promising.
Of course, we've got Katie Archibald, Nia Evans, Laura Kenny and Josie Knight. And just listen to the Hornings being beaten here. This is spectacular. It's a modest start, you might say, by both of these teams. But don't let the gearing fool you. Once they're up to pace, they're absolutely on rails, and for the time being, virtually nothing between them. Germany just trailing momentarily. They can drive this home, surely. They now catch sight of the back end of the Great Britain train down the straight. Gosh, heartbreak time here, and Germany well and truly in control, Joe.
Yeah, in control, that is definitely the phrase to use. They look so neat, so well put together, absolutely can't fault them at all, and they're riding brilliantly. Both teams down to 3 riders now. We've got a 4-second gap for the Germans. They're coming into those last couple of laps.
It's starting to break down as they run for it here, Great Britain. And sometimes when you've got a big powerhouse such as Katie Archibald, that can be a little bit of separation, but at the moment the bell's rung upon them, and it's going to be Germany that bring this home. It's an irretrievable gap for Great Britain. It's not what the crowd wanted to see, but they appreciate a spectacular performance by Germany. Great Britain will come here and take a silver medal now, but really that looked like a class apart, I must say. Germany absolutely supreme.
I think as a team over each round, you know, that we kept going, we kept digging deep, you know, and I mean we did get better from quali to first round. It was always going to be a massive ask to beat the Germans in the final, but I think as a team we performed really well.
Tidily away. Gosh, just look at the gearing, particularly for Tanfield. It's an enormous drag race for him to just get some momentum into his spectacular looking Lotus machine. Away he goes. First to settle is Gramco.
Yeah, so in qualifying, they've both ridden a 4:09, so that's always very special to break that 4:10 barrier. Currently, Charlie Tanfield is up on the pace that he set this morning, though. And that is a huge gap. He's got 9/10 of a second. Still a long way to go, of course, a 4-kilometre race. And the individual pursuit is all about pace judgment. It's so easy to go out too fast in that first kilometre.
1.729, and Tanfield looks like he's on rails.
Yeah, he does. He's looking really strong. So if you just look at him on the bike as well, he's holding a really nice aero position, hugging that black line. Of course, that is the shortest way around the track.
Round the outside he comes, just dancing upon that black line, doing a fantastic job. Wonderful distance, wonderful effort. He absolutely nailed that. That is a bronze medal for Charlie Tanfield. It's going to feel like gold in front of this crowd.
I mean, I could hear the commentator saying that I was up, and you can hear the crowd getting behind you as well, so I knew I had some time in the bank, and 2 to go, I could see him out the corner of my eye on that side of the track, and I was like, right, I'll squeeze on a bit here, because I knew he was going to come back at me.
Gosh, it looks like they both had the same coach. Almost a mirror of each other on the exit there, Joe.
Yeah, so very smooth start. So these riders are on quite big gears here for the individual pursuit, and you need to get out of that gate well and get the bike up to speed, but you don't want to snap out the gate as fast as you would, as fast as we see the sprinters start, for example, or as fast as you might in a team pursuit. You don't want to waste too much energy in that first lap. You want to get up to speed nice and efficiently, then settle into that aero position. Yeah, so we could see in the back straight the coach for Great Britain there for Josie Knight. She's just walking up and down compared to the start-finish line. So that means if Josie is up, she's going to take steps up. If she's down on the pace that she wants to set, she'll take a couple of steps down. So that could be really interesting watching the coach. You can see there she looks like she's about 1/10 of a second up per lap.
This is fantastic. There's only half a second between them. It could go either way, Joe.
Yeah, Anna Morris is clawing this back lap by lap. She's taking 1/10 or so out. Just holding there at half a second now, difference between the two riders. We're coming up to this 2K point. This will be a really interesting marker. Over the line now, just 4/10 of a second for Josie Knight. So Anna Morris is still eating into that lead. 2 laps to go, 3/10 of a second. Can Josie Knight hold on to this? This is a fascinating race. Just a lap and a half left of this 3-kilometre pursuit now, 2/10.
Josie Knight, she is not tying up, of course. She's a brilliant rider, but the gap is narrowing here. Oh, and it's gone back out. Josie Knight has reimposed herself. Bell's gone. One more lap here, Joe.
Wow, this is fantastic racing by both these riders here. Half a lap to go, holding it at 3/10. What a tight race this has been. And Josie Knight powers to the line now. Let's see this finish.
Oh, there it is. That was wonderful. Beautifully marshalled by Josie Knight. Anna Morris made that a fantastic contest as well. Both superb riders. Only one could take the bronze, and it's gone to Josie Knight.
To be honest, I didn't have many expectations because of my run into the event hadn't been perfect. So literally everything was a bonus. But I'm really pleased with today because I don't often back up well. And Anna Morris went 1.5 seconds faster than me in qualifying. So then to come out and beat her this evening, I'm really pleased.
And just look at this, a big crank up from Van Schip. It's recognised by Maura Vedri. All together, we're going to get ourselves a mass sprint by the looks of things. Van Schip goes to the front. Maura Vedri is on his shoulder, comes up onto that just above the red line right now. He's going to drop in front now. He may well have missed out yesterday, but the Spaniard means business.
You can see Matt Wall's up there as well. There is the bell. Final lap of this race.
Final lap indeed, and it's time to go deep if you can. And Ollie is riding like a superstar at the moment. Can Maura Vedri get back in him? It's going to be a drag race to the line. Hollywood's going to get there. The crowd are going to love that. Oh, bike link in the end. Super work by Hollywood. He kept himself very quiet throughout that race and then went loud at just the right time. That's the way to do it. Take the bronze. And here it will be on the bell rings for the final time here at the Tissot UCI Track Nations Cup in Glasgow. Yuri Havik comes around the outside of his teammate from the Netherlands, but it's all to no avail. These are minor places for these guys. Imamura takes the minor points here, but Hollywood has delivered the Hollywood ending that the crowd were looking for. That was magnificent. Clever riding throughout, but also more than that, he just had the power when he needed it, and he poured it on. It was beautiful to see. Maura Vedri, great performance by him as well after disappointments earlier in the week here, but Ollie Wood has taken the Omnium.
Got off a good start in scratch, leading the scratch, and then I sort of knew from then that legs were okay, and I had a real tough tempo race, but it paid off in the end. We'll all keep pushing till Paris.